الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله نبي الهدى والرحمة خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. يقول الله تبارك وتعالى في كتابه الكريم: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters, by the grace and the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are witnessing another Ramadan, another opportunity to purify ourselves, another opportunity to redeem ourselves, another opportunity to earn the bounties and the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes we take things for granted and we don't realize how fortunate we are when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us with many things in this life. We are told that our predecessors, the Salaf al-Salih, they used to supplicate 6 months before Ramadan, and they would ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give them another opportunity to witness another Ramadan. So my dear brothers and sisters, as we start Ramadan, it's important that we take a moment to appreciate and to understand how fortunate we are to witness this unique and blessed month of Ramadan. And as we do that, it's important also to take a moment to reflect and ponder on what fasting is and what fasting means. One of the unfortunate things that happens in many of the acts of rituals that we do in our ibadat, sometimes they become just a habit. They become just a ritual, something that we do annually, something that we do 5 times a day, but sometimes we forget their greater aim and their greater purpose. So it's important for us, my dear brothers and sisters, so that we can get the greatest benefit of fasting, to ask ourselves what fasting is and what fasting means. The word sawm simply defined means al-imtina'u 'ani shay', abstaining from something. We find that in the Quran in Surah Maryam, when she was told to say to her people, إِنِّي نَذَرْتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ صَوْمًا فَلَنْ أُكَلِّمَ الْيَوْمَ إِنسِيًّا. That she said, I vowed to the Lord, to Ar-Rahman, to Allah, to fast. Fast from what? Fast from talking. So fasting simply means abstention. So abstention from what? Perhaps many would say abstention from eating and drinking, an intimate relationship. But if that is the extent of how we understand and we view fasting, then definitely, my dear brothers and sisters, we are in the wrong course. and definitely we will not get the great benefit of fasting and witnessing the month of Ramadan. In many hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us clearly that fasting is not just eating and drinking. Fasting is a package that includes everything that we do. Yes, abstaining from eating is part of it. Abstaining from drinking is part of it. But there is also more important aspect to fasting, and that's fasting through your tongue, fasting with your ears, fasting with your eyes, fasting with your hands and legs, fasting with your all faculties. And in fact, this part of the fasting sometimes could be even more difficult. Imam Maymun ibn Mukhtar mentions that the easiest part of fasting is to abstain from eating and drinking, meaning that the other types of abstentions are more difficult and more challenging. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man lam yada' qawl az-zuri wal 'amal bihi, فليس لله حاجة فيه أن يدع طعامه وشرابه." He said that a person who in this blessed month of Ramadan do not abstain from falsehood or acting upon falsehood, Allah doesn't need his fasting or his abstention from eating and drinking. And some scholars say that a person might witness Ramadan, might abstain from eating and drinking, but perhaps he or she will not get out of Ramadan other than being thirsty and hungry. So my dear brothers and sisters, let's fast with the clear understanding. Fasting is not just food and drink. Fasting is holistic experience. Every faculty in our body should be fasting. The first one and most important one to fast is our tongue. Our tongue that could be our worst enemy. As one scholar used to say, لساني ضبع إن أطلقته أكلني. My tongue is like a wolf. If I let it loose, it will come and kill me. Yes, my dear brothers and sisters, with this tongue, we say many things. With this tongue, we insult. With this tongue, we hurt feelings of other people. With this tongue, we go into argumentation. So if there is anything that needs abstention more than anything else, is our tongue, my dear brothers and sisters. So let's make sure that during this month we train our tongue not to say anything that's wrong, anything that's hurting, anything that's evil. And let's make sure that we train our tongue during this month not to be argumentative. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, من ترك المراء أنا زعيم ببيت في ربض الجنة لمن ترك المراء وهو محق. I am a guarantor of a place in the center of paradise for a person who avoids argumentation, even if he or she is truthful. So the month of Ramadan, let's train this tongue not to be argumentative. During this month of Ramadan, let's train our tongue to abstain from backbiting, to abstain from talking in issues that we have no knowledge, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا تَقْفُ مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٍ إِنَّ السَّمْعَ وَالْبَصَرَ وَالْفُؤَادَ كُلُّ أُولَئِكَ كَانَ عَنْهُ مَسْئُولًا. We are told in this verse not to engage or indulge in matters that we have no knowledge of. Because everything that we say, we will be held accountable for. Similarly, my dear and sisters, we should fast with our eyes. We should fast with our ears, our hands, our legs, every faculty of our body. So fasting is a holistic experience. It is not just limited to our stomach, it includes every part of our being. And Imam al-Ghazali, in his book Ihya Ulum al-Din, categorized the fasting of people into three categories. The first category is what he calls Siyamul Awam, the fasting of regular people. And what is that? Siyamul Imtina'i an al-Ta'am wa al-Sharab, the people who just abstain from eating and drinking. But then he says the second level, which is the best or better than the first one, Siyamul Khawas, the fast of the special. And the fast of the special is that they fast holistically. Their eyes, their tongues, their hands, every faculty will be fasting. The third one, Siyamu Khawas al-Khawas, the fasting of the special, the elite of the elite. And this type of fasting, Imam al-Ghazali says, are those who fast with their mind and with their heart. Meaning that their minds and their hearts think of no evil thought, think of no other engagement other than thinking of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, exclusively devoted to the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So my dear brothers and sisters, certainly no one should be at the last one, but we should strive to be at the second and at the third level, so that we can gain the greatest benefit of the month of Ramadan. Further, my dear brothers and sisters, this month is a unique opportunity to connect with our own self. Unfortunately, my dear brothers and sisters, we are always talking with others, but rarely do we talk to ourselves. We have no time to do that. Many times we are preoccupied about what other people are doing, what other people are thinking. But few times do we introspect deep into ourselves to think and to understand and to explore who truly we are. So Ramadan, my dear brothers and sisters, is a good opportunity to spend time with our own self, to do what our righteous predecessors used to call al-khalwatu ma'an nafs, a private moment with your own soul, with your own self, where nobody is distracting you, no cell phones, no one around you. It's only you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Evaluating your own self, evaluating your own feelings and your own thoughts, and trying to look deep as to where you were last year and where you are. Deeply understanding ourselves is the key, my dear brothers and sisters, to our own self-development. We live at a time where there is so much distraction, my dear brothers and sisters. People have no time to spend this quality time with themselves. Everywhere they go, there is something with them. They have this machine in their pocket that they have to serve every time. Keep that machine away. Take a moment, my dear brothers and sisters, to self-introspect, to self-analyze, to deeply look into our own self. And as the scholars said that whoever Allah pleases him good, Allah would open his eyes or her eyes on their own shortcomings, on their own faults. My dear brothers and sisters, Ramadan is like a boot camp. Sometimes people go to a boot camp so that they can develop good habits. People who have a bad lifestyle, they go to a boot camp, they stay there for weeks or months, and they are trained there how to manage their day-to-day affairs. And they come out of this camp in a better shape. Ramadan is a similar experience, my dear brothers and sisters. And let's not understand when we are told that during Ramadan you abstain from bad talk. During Ramadan you abstain from evil thoughts. That does not mean it ends with Ramadan. Ramadan is an opportunity to train us. So whatever we have experienced in Ramadan, we have to take it with us throughout our life. So Ramadan is not just a 1 month experience and ends there. No, whatever we experience in Ramadan is to remain with us. Every Ramadan we should be better individuals. Every Ramadan we go through this unique exercise of self-development. And then by next Ramadan we should be also ready for another experience. Every Ramadan we should be moving up and up and up. It shouldn't be the other way, where we become at a level in Ramadan, at a higher level in Ramadan, and when Ramadan ends, we go down back to our old ways and our old days. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless this Ramadan for us. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who fast this month truly, not just by abstaining from food and drink, but abstaining from everything that does not fit the blessed month of Ramadan. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters, Ramadan is an intense time. And that intensity is seen vividly in our masajid, in our mosques, where people come regularly for congregational prayer, as well for Taraweeh, and so on and so forth. And as we come to the masjid, my dear brothers and sisters, we should display the best of our manners and our behavior. And one thing that's unfortunate, my dear brothers and sisters, is to see brothers arguing or sisters among themselves on some secondary issues and yelling and shouting on each other. That does not fit the spirit of Ramadan. That defeats the spirit of Ramadan. In fact, the beloved Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, فَإِن سَابَبَهُ أَحَدٌ أَوْ شَتَمَهُ فَلْيَقُلْ إِنِّي صَائِمٌ. Somebody comes and verbally attacks him or her, let her or him say, I am fasting. So let's, my dear brothers and sisters, in this blessed month of Ramadan, show that manner of Islam, respecting elders, showing compassion to the young. And if there are issues where we have differences of opinion, to deal with them in a respectful way, either by referring to people who have knowledge or by engaging, if we have the knowledge, in meaningful and knowledge-based exchange and discussion. My dear brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described Ramadan as ayyaman ma'dudat, countable days. So Ramadan is only a few days. Might sound long, 30 days, but by the end of Ramadan, everybody will be saying, this Ramadan was short. This Ramadan went quick. So my dear sisters, rather than saying that, let's make use of every minute and every hour that we have of this blessed month of Ramadan. And let's all, my dear sisters, forgive one another, embrace one another. And as we in Ramadan raise our hand and say, oh Allah, forgive us, we should also be willing to forgive us. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us and accept all our good deeds. إخواني وأخواتي، هذا الشهر الكريم، هذا الشهر المبارك نعمة من الله عز وجل، نعمة أنعمها علينا بأن يسر لنا العيش والبقاء لمشاهدة رمضان آخر. ولا ينبغي علينا إخواني وأخواتي أن نفسد صيامنا وأن نسيء استقبال هذا الشهر الكريم بالتناوش والتقاطع والتدابر والاختلاف في أمور فيها سعة في الشرع الإسلامي. فهناك أمور متفق عليها بين أهل العلم، وهناك أمور مختلف فيها بين أهل العلم، وهي من الأمور الاجتهادية التي قال فيها الإمام النووي: لا إنكار في الأمور الاجتهادية فلتتسع قلوب بعضنا لبعض. وكما قال الشاعر: لعمرك ما ضاقت بلاد بأهلها ولكن قلوب العباد تضيق، فلنوسع قلوبنا ولتتسع أفهامنا ولا نجري أو ولا نستمع لوساوس الشيطان، فالشيطان لا يريد منا أن نكون أمة واحدة ولا يسره أن نكون صفا واحدا. والله سبحانه وتعالى قد نبهنا إلى ذلك في كتابه الكريم حين قال: إنما يريد الشيطان أن يوقع بينكم العداوة والبغضاء. فالشيطان يريد أن ينشر العداوة والبغضاء بيننا، والله سبحانه وتعالى يريد منا أن نتحابب، يريد منا أن نتغافر، يريد منا أن نتواصل، يريد منا أن نتسامح. والنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم كان حين يؤم المصلين كان يقول لهم: لينوا بأيدي إخوانكم، لأن الناس لو وقفوا في مواقفهم وكل قال لأخيه بل أنت تأتي نحوي فلن يستقيم صف على الإطلاق. أدعو الله عز وجل أن يبارك لنا في جمعنا، وأدعو الله عز وجل أن يؤلف بين قلوبنا، وأدعو الله عز وجل أن يبعد عنا الخلاف والشقاق والفتنة والقيل والقال، وأدعو الله عز وجل أن يوفقنا لصيام وقيام هذا الشهر المبارك، وأدعو الله عز وجل أن يغفر لنا ذنوبنا، أن يغفر لنا ولآبائنا ولإخواننا ولأحبتنا، وأدعو الله عز وجل أن يفرج عن إخواننا المضطهدين والمظلومين في بقاع الأرض، وأن يجعل هذا الشهر فاتحة خير لهم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم.